starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, good morning, everyone. How are you? This is Mary. Today I will be joining you in today's webinar. I hope you enjoy it. Today I would like to keep talking about what we've been treating for the last few weeks and start with a webinar about the new version, okay? As you know, we released the new ReiFax version a few weeks ago. And although it's still optional, you can either use the regular version, V2 as we call it. V2 will be available only till December. So we are encouraging you to start getting to know a little bit more about our new version, about V3. If you wish to access V3, you can always log into your account, type your email and your password as you usually do, and click on the option that says access new product. Also, when you access your ReiFax account, either Platinum, Professional, or Professional Dialer, there's an option that says that there's a new version and it will ask if you want to access it. You can always say yes. I've already accessed my ReiFax account on the new version, as you can see, and whenever you access your ReiFax account, there you go. ReiFax takes you automatically to the search section. As you see, this is the search section. There is no basic or advanced search anymore. We have only one wide search option, and the map is always available for you to see. Please have in mind that if you have any questions, you can ask away on the questions section. I'm always checking if you're asking something, if you remembered something curious that happened the other day and you want to comment it with everyone, you can also type it down and I'm gladly going to read all that. Remember that the new version is still on the working. We're still working on fixing a few issues we're still presenting. But I'm glad to say that the search, the results, the overview of this is pretty much done. Only a few tweaks here and there. So this is pretty much done, and I'm pretty sure you will love it. As everything is a matter of getting familiar with it. The first few weeks when I started using the new system, I felt like a little lost. Not anymore. Now this feels like home every time I come here. It's very user friendly. I encourage you to take a few minutes to see the differences between one thing and the other. If you feel you're not quite ready, you can always go back, as I said, to the old version. But the idea of today's webinar and the future webinars is to make you feel a little bit more comfortable around the new system. From here, as I mentioned when we started today, I want to talk a little bit about the overview and how everything looks now from the new version. So the first thing I'm going to do is run a search. Okay. Right now, in my state option, we're still only available for Florida, but we are in the process of adding new states. Okay, we're going to start with Texas. I've heard Georgia. I've heard California. So we're in the process of adding some new information into ReiFax. So that's the good news. Now, from the new system, you can look in any specific county. But if you want to look in all counties at a time, there's an option that says any county. Okay? And every time you select a county or a state, when the states become available, you're going to be able to select the state and the map will go over that specific state. Okay? So I'm going to go back to Broward. Okay? And there we are in Broward. And I'm going to run a search I'm gonna look for single family homes. So as you can see, as I run my search, this starts to fill out. This is very useful because now you don't have to be scrolling up and down and changing data, changing tabs to see or remember what did you selected on this particular search. You just have it right here on a glance. And I want to look for properties that are listed. So I'm gonna go ahead and select for sale. And I want to see the properties that have been on the market for 30 days, let's say, or more. These are going to be my parameters. Okay. I'm gonna hit search. From the search, as before, you're also going to be available to save your searches. There are a few videos already, tutorial videos, so you can see the process. Okay, and as you can see, the system takes me to the result section. Now we do not have tabs here on top. We have a sidebar. Okay, if I want to go back to search, I just click on search. If I want to go back to results, I go to results. Okay, so this is my result section. I have a total of 468 properties. Okay, I can select if I want to see 30 properties per page. If I scroll down, you'll see that right now I'm looking at 50 properties per page, but you can change this and select 30, 50, 100, or 250 properties per page, as you wish. Okay? So from here, as you can see, from this result section, we have actually three different views from the result. We have the map view. If I click on map view, this will display a map that will show all our results in a map. Okay, so as you can see, we have a map. We have all these little dots. One of each is a property. You can move this around and you can scroll so you can see a bit better all the properties. Where are these located? Okay. As always, we have some circles with some different line colors and all that. We have available all the time this legend option. So if you want to see what these colors are all about, you can go ahead and check the legend and see what does this mean. Also, you have access to the reports. We have the absorption rate report, subdivision name report, X-ray report, discount report. Okay? So from here, you can generate any of these reports. If we have some time by the end, I will explain a little bit about these. Okay? This, as I mentioned, is the map view where we were taken at the beginning. This is the detail view. And from here, as you saw, we have a little summary of the information about each property. We have the square footage of the house. We have when this was built, the days on market, the type of property, and all the information, all the references. We have market value, active value, potential equity, active equity, and debt to equity. Okay, so we have this information right here, very useful. And also we have the grid view. So if you compare this a little bit with the current version V2, You will recognize this maybe as the basic search. Now we call it detail view. And the grid view is more like the advanced search on V2. Okay, we have our grid with all the information of the properties that we got. Same amount of properties, 468, but the information about these properties is displayed differently. Okay, that's the difference between the detail view and the grid view. Okay, from here, from the grid view, we have the same option as before. First, you can see 30 properties per page, 50, 100, or 250. Okay, and you can change the information that you see on this grid, on this template. And you'll do that by looking at this little icon next to 250. It says grid template. We've heard that maybe this doesn't uh, get lost in all this information, so we're working on adding some, maybe the name of the icon or something, because apparently gets lost a little bit there. So Marielle is asking, where is the view or is the eye? That's in the follow-up, okay? That's in the follow-up. The little eye is in the follow-up, but you will be able to access the overview of the property from here, okay? From the grid view, from the detail view, okay? We'll do that in a second. So this grid, if I click on it here, I already have one preloaded here that will allow me to select, as I mentioned, the information that I want on each column. Okay, so I already have this made, and if I select it and I click on load, this will change the grid information. You see? Now I have address, agent name, agent phone number, days on market, and listing price. Okay, and as I created this template with this information, you can create your own template with your own information. And as I always say, the cool thing about this is that when you export this information to your computer, you will be able to export all the information that you need, okay? So, for example, in my case, I made a search based on the city. Based on the zip code. So it doesn't have much sense having a zip code column because it's always going to be the same. So I can remove that information from my Excel, from my PDF. That will make my sheet more useful. Okay? You will be able to customize that. If you wish, you can export this to your computer as a PDF here in the option print. As always, you will be able to create the labels, one per property. You can export this information to an Excel file. You can check the intelligent market. You can add properties to the follow-up, to the mailing campaign, or you can check on the legend. Remember that the follow-up and the mailing campaign is only available for ReiFax Professional or ReiFax Professional dialog. Okay. Now, if I click on the address of any given property, this will take me to the overview of the property. Okay, so this is maybe the equivalent, Mariel, of having the little eye that will take you to the overview. You can simply click on the address of the property and you will be taken to the overview. And you can do that as I did either from the grid view or the detail view. If you're in the detail view, as you can see, I can click on any property And this will take me to the overview of that property that I selected. Okay, there we go. So here's the overview. Looks a little different, I think. And let's take a look on what we have right now. First, here on top, we have, of course, the address, the days on market. This property has been on the market for quite some time. We have the type of property, single family home. The status of the property, as always, we place it and we identify this by colors. So we have this here by owner. Number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage. When this property was built. Here it says pool, that means that the property has a pool. So if the property doesn't have a pool, so the word pool will not appear here. Okay? Same thing with waterfront. This property I know that is not waterfront because the word waterfront does not appear in my description. As always, we have this value. This is the ReiFax value or market value. Listing price, again market value, same number. And media value, this is the market value per square feet. Now if I scroll down, I will be able to see the details on of the property as it appears in the public records. We have the size of the lot, built or living area. Again, when this was built, single family. When was this sold for the last time? Land value. Assessed value, build value, folio number or parcel ID, how you prefer to call it. The status, again, number of bedrooms and number of bathrooms. The subdivision name and the county. Everything right here. Here's the legal address. The sales history. We're including here the book. We're including here the number of the page. And also we have the owner information. Name of the owner, address of the owner, and we have the phone numbers. Remember that if you have ReiFax Professional Dialer, you will be able to access the DNC verification. The DNC verification, or do not call verification, will allow you to know when a phone number is included to the DNC list. So for example, on this particular property, there you go. On this particular property, this first phone number, 954-835-5779, this is not included in the DNC, but this one, 954-921-3945, this is included in the DNC. Here appears as so, and I'm able to look at that information because I have my account set with ReiFax Professional Dialer. From here, I can also look at the map. This is actually something that should be ready by maybe next Monday. Right now, we're only looking at an image, photo, let's say. Oh no, it's fixed. Huh. There we go. Before, you could only see an image. Now we have access to the map view and the street view. And there we go. Okay? So, before you had to click on a button in order to look at the map or go to a different tab in order to look at the map. Now you can have the map available for you to see right from there. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. Okay? You can select the street view if you want to take a look on the street view. Okay? You can play around with the map as you always do. Now, also, you have the comparables tab. And here I have the counts. And look how different this is. Before we had our comparables and we had the map first, and we had to scroll down to see all the way, to see the list, the complete list. So we stopped looking at the map. Now we have this side by side, and you can scroll down and taking a look on the comps as you look at your map. Okay, so here we have 14 comps. Remember that our comparables are properties that are in a 0.5 mile radius, more or less 10% of the square footage. In this case of the comps, they've been sold in the past 12 months. We can filter these comparables by, for example, selecting the map. Okay, we can start clicking because I only want to see the comps that's around this particular area. You see, now the system is showing only the comparables. I see a question, just one second. I see only the comparables that I selected with my tool, with my polygon tool, and I can click on this new set of comps, these 11 comps. Okay, and I can click on calculate value, and I have now this market value, this calc value. This is the market value based on the properties that I just selected. Let's take a look at the question. Okay, I see a question about Christina. Did you have to do something to get to the map up when you're looking at comparables? I'm on the same page, but I don't have a map on the right side. No, I didn't do anything particular. Whenever you go to the comparable tab, you should have the map on your right side. Okay, and this applies, and we'll see this as we move along with the active comparables and all the other comparables. Okay, you will always have the map right there. I didn't do anything particular. Maybe try going to a different property. Let me know if it works. If not, contact customer support so we can check your account, see if something's going wrong. Okay. If I want to reset, if I want to remove the filter, here it is, the reset. And we'll have the 14 comparables all over again. If I want to remove the polygon, here's the eraser tool. Okay, so as you can see, pretty much the same information. We're just trying to make this a little bit more user friendly. Okay, and in the overview, the same thing happens as before. If the property has a mortgage, if the property has a pre-foreclosure, a foreclosure, okay, if the property has, for example, is a probate, every single case of that particular will have its own tab if necessary. Okay. So, for example, on this particular property, we don't have a mortgage tab, we don't have a pre-foreclosure tab, we don't have a probate tab, and that's because the property does not have any of those cases. Okay. Got stuck. While I unstuck my ReiFax, tell me, do you have any questions? Any comments? Is there anything in particular you want to share? I also would like to know if you've had the chance to actually tweak on the system. I would like to know if you've had the chance to get around with it. I know that it looks very different. I know that on the first glance might be a little overwhelming, but I'm sure you could get used to it in a few days. I'm going to share my screen with you again. One of the things that I didn't tell you before, I'm back to search, and one of the things I forgot to mention before is that now ReiFax will offer you pre-saved searches. Okay, so from here, from search, if I go to manage search, you'll see that I have the searches that start with ReiFax. These are pre-saved searches that you will have in your account. Okay, so we have a lot of different things. We have potential equity, single family for sale, potential equity greater than 20. We have condos. We have for sale by owner, multi-family, for sale bank owned. Okay, we have a lot of different searches that you can select. Okay, these searches cannot be deleted. If you try to do so, you will get a warning. Okay, so you will always have those in hand, just in case you need them. I'm gonna run quickly the same search I had before. Now I know that that button gets stuck. I'm gonna go to search. Great. So as everything, this the fact that it happens during the webinar shows that this still on the progress. Okay, we're still working on this. And if you encounter something like this, if you find yourself clicking on something and it gets stuck, or something doesn't happen that should happen, those are the things we encourage you to tell us, because those are the things that we're actually working on right now. Okay, so I'm going to click again on my property so I can go back to the overview. Okay, I will try to find a particular property. Well, in this case, we do have mortgage information, and then we have the mortgage tab. If I go back to my results section and I click a different property, let's see, we have some luck. There is no mortgage information anymore. Okay. As you can see, since you were asking, Christina, I think it was, I'm not doing anything in particular. Okay. I just go to the comparable section and the map will be right there once it loads, of course. There you go. For this property, we have even more comparables. Okay, so I didn't do anything in particular. We will have the picture and we will have the map. Perfect. Thank you very much. She will be calling customer service. Great. If you go to active comparables, again, this starts loading my active comps. Remember that the active comparables are, again, properties that are in a 0.5 mile radius, more or less 10% of the square footage of the subject property. This is the subject property, the one we're analyzing right now. And in the case of the active comps, these properties are currently for sale. So here, dark green with an S, we have the subject property, and light green with numbers, we have the active comps. Okay, and we have the same option. You will be able to print this list of active comps. You will be able to save this in the system, You will be able to export this information to an Excel file, and same as before, you can filter the comps. If I click on the filter, I can select the different distance. Maybe I want to see only the properties that are in a 0.3 mile radius. And I click on filter. This will narrow my search. Now I only have 7 comps. See? All of these properties are in a maximum of 0.3 mile radius. I can take a look on the distress comps. By distress, we mean properties that are either in foreclosed or pre-foreclosed. And you will be able to know which one is it because here we have the foreclosure status. Here F means foreclosed, P means pre-foreclosed. Again, 0.5 mile radius, more or less 10% of the square feet footage. In this case, only properties that are either in foreclosed or pre-foreclosed. We have the rental comps as we had before. And automatically we get a rental value right here. This is the rental value of this property based on these comps. Again, you can filter this. When we have a lot of comps, in this case we got the 31, maybe you want to narrow this down. I always go for distance, filter. Now I select my 13 comps and I click on calculate value. This is the rental value based on my comps. This didn't change that much. And actually we do have something new from here from the overview that I'm glad to let you know. This is the BNB comps. As you know, there's a new thing called BNB. And now we have incorporated that data to ReiFax. Okay. So as you can see, we have a lots of BNBs surrounding our subject property. So maybe you want to know which is the BNB value. If you want to share that information with your potential seller, with your potential buyer, you can do so. We have 73 comparables, BNB comparables. This is the BNB value 248. Okay. And we can do exactly the same thing we were doing before. Okay, you can click on distance, but now also you have some new options. You have, for example, class. So, then breakfast. Okay, let's select 0.4 and filter. As I always say, we have to be very careful with filters. If you filter too much, you might up getting, as I just did, 0 results. If you did, you just reset your filter. Okay? But the nice thing is that now you have the BNB comp information in your ReiFax account. This is automatically done for all of you on ReiFax. Doesn't matter if you have platinum, if you have professional, or if you have professional dialer. Whenever the data is available for that property or for that area, you will be able to access it. Same thing with the mortgage tab, same thing with the foreclosure tab. If the information is available, then you will have a BNB comps tab. It will allow you to analyze that aspect of your property. Do you have any questions so far? Do you like it? Good. I'm gonna take the silence as you love it. Okay, we have a question here, Marielle. She says she loves a B&B. Awesome. And she says, going back to search, do I have to recreate the manage save parameters list? This happens when I go to search, then advanced search, and then click on the icon manage saved parameters. Okay, I'm sorry, what do you mean with recreate? Okay, the searches you had on V2, some of them, depending on the parameters you had selected, some of them will appear on here, okay? So it's a matter only of going to your new version, okay? And clicking on manage search and checking if you have your searches there all saved, okay? So this will be saved alphabetically, so you can look for your old searches here on your ReiFax, okay? In most cases, you will have your searches still there, okay? Same thing with your documents. You will have your documents there, no problem. Everything is being brought from V2 to V3. You don't have to start from scratch all over again. You don't have to preload your signatures or re-edit your contracts. No. We are bringing everything from V2 to V3. Some things are being a little challenging to do. For example, in some searches, since we're adding new stuff and deleting some, or more than deleting, placing differently. So that might be affecting what you had. But in the 90% of the cases, we've been successful of bringing all the old data to the new system. Okay? So no worries there. And actually, if you create something here on V3, you'll be able to see it on V2, again, depending on the data that you select. MP for sale. Oh, those MPs, not foreclosure, not owner occupied listing price. That, I'm pretty sure that if you go to your V3, you will have that search in your ReiFax account. No worries. Yeah, the real ones, the mentoring program saved searches, yes, you will have those in your V3 account. Those will be there. No problem. No worries. Okay, so as I said, we still have 20 minutes to spare because this is pretty much the overview. I think, and this is again my personal consideration, I see it is very user friendly. I really think that ReiFax needed refresh. Okay, so I think it's very user friendly. I personally like it a lot, and we're maintaining the same options. We are listening to your suggestions. Okay, before a few weeks ago, we didn't have the little names under the icons, and as I said, we heard about your suggestions, and you said that you were getting a little bit lost in the system, so we decided to add the names right under the icon, so you uh, make the transition a little bit easier. Same thing with the sidebar. We added all this to the sidebar, and we are maintaining the options, and we're just trying to add some more in the most organized way possible. Again, we have the reports, FAR report, BPO report, absorption, subdivision, X-ray, discount. From here, you can add the properties. This property, remember, since we're in the overview, you can add this particular property to your follow-up. You can add this to the mailing campaign, and you can send contracts from here, from this overview. Okay, if I click on send docs, ReiFax will pop up my dialog so I can send this document. This is the synchronization, and this is very useful. This is the synchronization because I need ReiFax. I need Gmail now that ReiFax will be accessing the account. So before we had all this process in order to synchronize Gmail with your ReiFax account. Now it's 100% easier because you just select one Gmail account and this is synchronized automatically. I just select, I apologize, my computer is in Spanish. I go to advanced settings and I select go to reifax.com and you click here and you will allow Gmail, you'll allow ReiFax to access your Gmail. I will not do this now because I want to make a tutorial video about this and I want to record this in a tutorial video. That's why I haven't done this quite yet. As I mentioned before, we're on the process of making all the tutorial videos we had for the old version. We're making the new videos for this new version. We already have some. Actually, I was waiting for the map feature to be available so I could do the overview video. That should be ready for Monday. So you can start asking for some videos. Some might not be available quite yet because we're still fixing something, but most of the videos are already done. Okay. And one thing that I wanted you to know is about this little house right here. It looks very modest, but has a lot of things. Okay. If I click here on this house, this will always be available. Okay. So you will always have access to this section. Okay. And when you click on the little house, you will have access to your account. Okay. Well, first you have access to all the subproducts. Before we had one bar on top that was taking a lot of space from your screen. Now we remove that. We add that here. You have access to all the subproducts. If you use your subproducts a lot, there you have it. You have access to Home Deal Finder, you have access to Buyers Pro and Leads Generator. This has been updated as well, okay? So let's say there's a V3 version for the subproducts too, okay? And now you will be able to upload a picture of yourself. This is my gorgeous picture, little yellow. And you will have your name and your user ID. So whenever you're asking for support, if we ask you which is your user ID, you just click on this green modest house, and here you will have your user ID. Very useful for us, so we can look for your information in the system as fast as possible. You will also have this menu. This is the user menu, these three horizontal dots. And if I click, we have a lot of different things. You will be able to access your ticket collection, let's say. So all the tickets you have opened with customer service, if I go here, I will be able to see all the tickets that I have, those that are closed, those that are open, okay? Here, if I click here on customer service, this will make either appear or disappear this chat window. Okay, so if I don't want to see that chat window there, I can simply click and that disappeared. So you will have your screen all clean for you to work. And if you need to let us know something, just click again and here it is. Okay. From here, you can also access the help section, the video section. Although this hasn't been updated yet, this still will show you the V2 videos. Okay, so if you need some video, any video in particular, you need to ask us directly. This will change the defaults, ReiFax defaults. If I click on ReiFax defaults, I will be able to change my state and my county. Right now, as I said, we're still with only Florida, but when we have a lot of different states, depending on where you are, on where you're working, you'll be able to select one state and one county of that state as a default. Okay? You can change your personal data, you can change your profile data, your credit card information, or if I click on my products, you will be able to go to the old My Products section. Okay? And still remembering that from My Products, you can go ahead and cancel or freeze my account. Okay, and look at your own invoices, or changing your password. Okay, so as you can see, some of these options are already added here, but sadly not all of them. So if you're trying to freeze your account, for example, and you don't see the option here, you just go to My Products and you will be able to do that right from My Products. Okay? And of course, if you need to log out, if you want to close your ReiFax account, you simply click on Log Out. That's where it is. So tell me, do you have any questions? Did you like what you saw? What you see? Sorry. And I really would like to know if you had the chance to look around on the new version before. Okay, I see no questions, so great, no worries. Christina, we'll be waiting for you so we can see what's going on with your overview. Maybe there's something wrong with the map or something. Remember, that's fairly new, so uh, we're going to be waiting for you to let us know so we can fix that. Frank, Marielle, as always, we are available for you from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. from Monday through Friday, so if you have any questions, you just need to let us know. Please remember to follow us in our social media. We're available on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and if you need to find us on LinkedIn, we're there as well. Thank you very much for your time. It has been my pleasure to joining you on today's webinar. As always, you know that I really love this, so I will be looking forward to be with you next Friday. Thank you very much. Have a great and safe weekend. Bye-bye.